We be live. Man, I can't open this amp up because it's way too loud. I can just barely open this thing up, man. All right, let me tune up. Ladies and gentlemen, this was originally a Mojo Tone kit. What do they call it? I think it's like 70s era Marshall. It didn't work when I built it because of Mojo Tone errors in their diagram. Me and YDNA, Andy Lederman, we corrected those errors. We got them to admit defeat and change their own blueprints. And we made it work over the phone from New York to Korea. And that was epic. That was last spring. At that point last spring, he had 500 followers, and now he has 10,000. And I'm always grateful to have an amp expert who I can call upon. Because if you're a guitar player, you need to have a guitar expert and you need to have an amp expert. Because unfortunately, this is a game where the equipment really matters. And a lot of the times the equipment doesn't work the way you want it to. I've got this set up. Presence 3 o'clock, bass 11 o'clock, middle, noon, treble 11 o'clock, master on 1, preamp on 11 o'clock. Let's introduce some Boss SD1 to try to tighten the booty and give it more drive. Now on the Boss, I got to put that tone knob lower because it sounds too bright. That sounds right. But I'll tell you what, in this 212 cab, I'd be much better off with 8 ohm classic lead 80s instead of 16 ohm. Because two things would happen. I'd get more power, which would allow me to use modelers and power amps at better volumes because I'd be able to get a 4 ohm setting on this. And then those 8 ohm speakers would naturally have less highs, which would make this bright friggin' Marshall amp sound better, especially at volumes that are like in the room volumes like this, not auditorium. If I was playing auditorium, if I was playing arena, the Marshall, the highs would tame a little bit. Not because of the brake cap. The brake cap's already been removed. But just turning it up, there'd be some natural compression and stuff that would happen, and it would kind of tame it up. Let's see. We got some fans in the chat. All right. Well, you just became a moderator. You just became a moderator also. Welcome. This is pretty dry because reverb and delay going in the front of it. I need to adjust this because I've been used to putting it in the loop of this trademark 120 amp. So I need to play with my reverb and delay before I can get a sound that I like, that I feel usable. What is this? This is a guitar tone channel. This is a electric guitar channel. I'm an American dude in Korea who has prestigious tube amps and nice electric guitars, and I'm talking about tone on this channel. That's pretty close. Let's see. Maybe the delay mix a little bit up. When you go in the front of the amp, you got to have radically different settings. Yeah. Well, welcome. If you're into guitars, this is a good place to be. I live in Korea, and a lot of my friends in the United States and Europe, they can't join us here because this is at a bad time for them. But I appreciate the Asian fans that come in here. If you guys are guitar players, I'll talk with you. This is an interactive channel. I'm not here to tell you the secrets of the world or how to live your life or what to buy. If you're in the chat typing, I'll talk to you. If you can ask me questions, you can make a statement, I'll interact with you. It's okay. And if your English isn't perfect, I can probably figure it out. It's all right. I'll be right back. What's up? You are now a mod.
Very good.
What's up, man? You are now a moderator. So this Marshall, man, it's unruly because now I can turn up to high levels in here, but not as high as this thing gets. This thing is a weapon. So it's tough, man. And it will sound different when I crank it than when I have the master on 1. So getting this thing to sound good when the master's on 1. Now it sounds good, but I think the one really good range of sounds I can get from this in a small room would be clean to light overdrive breakup. For the higher gain stuff, I think it would sound better with a greater level of volume going on. Who do we got in the chat? Talk to me. Did you notice there is a wah pedal on the ground? I'm not going to make much more noise tonight, but before I stop making noise, I'm going to play some wah. A coworker of mine, I brought that out for him earlier because he's never played wah. So I hooked him up and showed him what the wah is like. All right, let's play some more. Okay, I'm going to make a lot of noise for about 3 minutes, and then that's it. I'm turning it off. Yeah, so my theory is that the best tones I can get at lower than over 100 dB for this room are the clean to slightly overdriven sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'll put it on a slightly overdriven tone, and then I will get the gain from the super overdrive. Because diming the gain here at a low volume, that's just not the way to do it. Let me see which setting this is on. Well, what you just heard, and I know some people, we can't talk names, but I know some people this is going to make their blood boil. What you just heard was none other than boutique amplification, distribution, The Friedman Gold 72. No More Tears. Which has a 3-position switch for a throatier, a middle of the road, and a brighter setting. That is the Friedman, ladies and gentlemen. It is also the only Friedman product that I have at this point. I know some fans of the channel are enemies of Friedman. It is what it is. Now, we are expecting a wah pedal from none other than YDNA himself. He has gutted a Dunlop Joe Bonamassa wah pedal and is creating his own take on the wah. So stay tuned. That's going to be part of the show at a later date, and that'll also be part of the Andy Lederman show at a later date. We will see. But yeah, there's not a lot of traffic in the chat right now. It is very early for the English-speaking world. I do appreciate the Asian fans rolling through. I'm going to give this just a few more minutes to see if anybody wants to talk. And if they don't, then we will part ways. I did introduce a coworker earlier to Tone for the first time. But it was the first time that I had fired up that Marshall in probably a couple months. And I hadn't dialed in the room. It needed some tweaking. I now have it sounding the way I like it, but it takes a little while to tune that in. And he'll just have to come back. It is what it is. It sounded way too bright earlier. Yeah. My feeling, which I think it's got to be true, is that if these two speakers in there were 8-ohm, classic 80s, instead of 16-ohm, that it would be much easier to dial this thing in at the lower volumes. I like highs. I like bright guitar sounds. But it also is about a matching. And this sucker is bright. And I'm not playing at an arena. I'm playing in I don't know, an 18 by 10 foot room, something like that. So yeah, this thing will take your head off with a bright speaker matchup. Okay. There's a fellow Englishman. What's up, Riley? I was just playing the Marshall. And I was I was showing off the wah that I was using earlier. Friedman Gold 72. No More Tears. How do you feel about that, Riley? Team YDNA. is using product from boutique amp distribution. What is up with that? Riley, all the evidence that we've seen so far. Yes, boo. Boo! Yeah, Riley, all the evidence that we've seen so far of legacy amplifications trip to Sweden has been a single image of the amp in a room, in the corner of a room, on top of a PV cabinet. Now, earlier, there was a movement that was started, Justice for Riley. There's a movement that resonated with me, so I joined it. And I thought that you might be waiting for Luke when he got off the airplane in Sweden. But since this is the only evidence that he went to a non 120 volt country, I think maybe this Sweden trip really never happened and it was a cover story. I hope that you didn't listen intently for the dates and the times about this trip, and went to Sweden and we're waiting with a billy club for ATEC to get off the plane, because you might have been waiting for many days to realize that it never happened. Now, ATEC's going to say that I'm a conspiracy theorist, and of course I went to Sweden. Well, ATEC, all I'm really saying is we're waiting on you, okay? Just show us your trip to Sweden, and then we'll believe it. Yeah, you think he would have done a few live streams? That's right. Sneaky Luke, man. Sneaky Luke. He changed the rules on us, deducted points from me, made you believe that you couldn't even participate, so you gave your points away to other people. That ain't cool, man. That's not how you form a legacy. Duh. Now, there are a few of you that requested a live stream from me when I was doing my Thanksgiving vacation, because I told you about the place I'm at, that we were at. Now, what I'll tell you is this. You can look it up. It's not that I'm going to get in trouble for it, but whenever you go into a military base, show my ID card, my wife's ID card, the dude scans it, hands it back to me. There'll be a sign there that says no photography, right? It's not like I'm going to be trying to fucking give any secrets away. But I also don't want to be live streaming, just walking around the streets of a military base. There's nothing really wrong with that, but I don't want to be doing that. Now, why people wanted to see this one was because in the middle of the most populated city on earth, Seoul, Korea, stands Yongsan Military Base, which used to be the big American base. It's next to Itaewon, which is one of the most busy parts of town for nightlife. It would have been a great place to be stationed back in the day. But that all got phased out. And the only thing left at that base, embassy housing for all the U.S. embassy people, and a hotel. All the other buildings, and there's probably a couple hundred buildings, it's it's a ghost town. It's a Chernobyl in the middle of one of the most populated places on Earth. Very interesting situation. So, yes, people asked for me to live stream that. Google map it, the Dragon Hill Hotel in Seoul, Korea. Check out a Google map. So Riley, my man, you say, you think he would have done a few live streams, contact Linus or whatever his name is? Well, according to his one photo of a corner of a room, this is his amp delivered to this Linus fella on some sort of PV cab, and that is what we have to believe happened. So Linus has been contacted, and here is the amp on top of Linus's PV cab. He needs to show us more. Now he's going to show us more and say, Team YDNA, you're so stupid. Of course this is Linus's PV. Here's me and Linus together. But come on, dude. You could have done that like 2 weeks ago. Korea's main export. I don't know, man. Kia and Hyundai and Samsung. Maybe Kia, Hyundai, Samsung. Which is cars, computers, cell phones, refrigerators, everything. Maybe that's Korea's main export. But one of the cool things about living in Korea versus United States and Europe, UK, is that Korea makes stuff. So when you're here, you can get that stuff cheap, especially because all the Koreans want it brand new. So if you buy stuff used, like a 10-year-old used car, here you can get one for 2,000 US bucks that has been taken really good care of. There's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, it's kind of cool to live in a place where things are made, because there's some good deals to be had. And the price is naturally going to be lower when they don't have to ship it all over the world. Riley, what's up, dude? Interact with me, man. Come on. Come on, Riley. What up? I'm using this shit as a social network, man. So if you guys don't want to talk, I'm not going to stay on. And I'm going to keep saying that. Oh. So Riley thought about, well, Riley, how about this for a UK thing? It's elementary, Watson. But I suspect that ATAC is waiting for me to say this. And then he's going to dump all these videos. Oh, I had such a great time in Sweden. I'm living it up. And there are certain people who said my contest wasn't fair. There's certain people who even said I didn't go to Sweden. And, oh, they are just low lives, right? Yeah, no. You don't have a rule based contest and then change the rules to suit yourself, man. He didn't want to do the whole thing over again. It's plain as day. We'll see. But yeah, Riley, you should go live on Andy Lederman. And it'll be funny to hear the language barrier. That's all that, that's all that needs to trigger that content quality is just two guys that speak English that can't understand each other. It'll be really funny. And people will get a kick out of it. I know that to be true. Maybe, so Riley says he could get a lot of content and clicks from his European trip. Riley says maybe he's thinking about chucking this YouTube in. Oh, you think he's. So when you say chucking this YouTube, you think about getting rid of his YouTube? Probably not. You're thinking about clipping up my content and putting in his and saying and making a mega mix, making a that would be funny, but it's also totally unnecessary because the truth is, Riley, you gave up your points because he said the rules were that you couldn't participate in the contest. He deducted points from me because he decided that it wasn't fair that I had done all the things that he asked me to do. And yeah. If he wants to include clipped bits and pieces of me talking, that's fine, but you're going to have to clip it up to establish your point of view. Because if you listen to me all the way through, it's not going to work out for you. So he might be finished with YouTube. He might be chucking his channel. He might be throwing his channel out. Well, I guarantee you his subscription, his paid subscription, school service doesn't have anybody subbing to it. What else might make you believe that he's chucking YouTube? Maybe that the foundation of this legacy is built on sand, that he wants to get rid of that. I didn't think that that was a possibility, that he was just getting rid of his YouTube. Why do you think he might be chucking the YouTube, might be throwing away the YouTube? Riley, here's what I'm using for delay, or for reverb and delay. Using these 125 quid UA pedals. Now, I don't support UA, but I gotta tell you, these guys are great. In front of an amp, in the effects loop, whatever. These guys are great for the money compared to the boutique equivalents. All right, so Riley, again, why do you think he might be finished with YouTube? And also, Riley, are you aware that Offset Guitar Tech is in the UK? And he has possibly a $80,000 guitar? Okay, I got to back up on that, because last night when I stopped the stream, I saw Offset's guitar. Bro, I think you're watching this at a delay, bro. I said that it's elementary, Watson, like 5 minutes ago. Fuck. Well, he's watching a delay. He's probably not going to figure that out. So, what I would say is Offset Guitar Tech, who is in the UK, has a very special guitar, and it was used. he claims that it was used by Aaron Rash, the expert on Nirvana guitar tone, the rich kid that makes the beautiful videos. He claims it was used by Aaron Rash to build the new Aaron Rash models of the Cobain aluminum guitars. But the image that he showed of what this guitar looks like the other day, it looks like this guitar is not like the others. It looks like this guitar was drawn upon, scraped upon, just somebody took their own artistic liberties on this guitar. So as far as being at the value of the other Velino 1970s aluminum guitars, I don't know. But he also didn't give away its background as far as who it was built for. It is his now. Garrett, you want to say more than 4 words? What are you talking about? And is that how you introduce yourself? Like, hello, Garrett. Who are you? I'm not using YouTube as a way to sell somebody a fucking product, man. I'm talking to you in a guitar community. This is now a social network. Unfortunately, Riley's watching like 5 minutes behind and can't talk to me. Man, this shit doesn't really work if you're not interactive. Or if you're like 5 minutes behind or something. I'm out here in Asia, and it's butt crack a morning for everybody in the Western world. I guess this is just how it's going to be. I feel like this comment by Garrett was about the Swedish guy. Whatever the fuck his name was. What is that? Linus or I work with someone first name Linus. Man. You guys got to skip ahead and talk to me. Well, I'll close it out. This is a message to AC. AC, you made a video the other day about how Gibson is charging too much. All right, so my message to you is you have some sort of lower end $1,000 Gibson tribute, sell it, buy an Edwards, take it to not a tech, not a repairman, take it to a luthier who can build guitars from scratch, who can build acoustic guitars, and say, hey, I want this to be a lifetime guitar. Can you please make me a new nut? Can you please give me some new frets? And make this something that I can use for the rest of my life. Yeah, ESP Edwards. I recommend that. So that is my message to AC is, yeah, Gibsons are great, but they're asking way too much money for them. And even if you bought the Gibson, you would do the same thing. You would go to the guitar expert and you would say, make this a lifetime guitar, new nut, better frets. Well, hey guys, I'm not going to talk to myself. So you can catch me here tomorrow night.